The internet as you know it is officially dying, and the URL is the first casualty. Servers are melting down. Major American cities are plunging into rolling blackouts. In your ChatGPT query? Dead. Right now, in cities from Chicago to Los Angeles, a single AI data center is sucking enough juice to power 100,000 homes simultaneously, and the United States power grid is actively buckling under the weight. This isn't a science fiction movie, it's happening today. The artificial intelligence revolution is literally starving America's power system, and by this coming summer, grid operators are projecting rolling blackouts from coast to coast. We are witnessing an unprecedented power crunch. One shocking statistic, an AI training run for a model like GPT-5 guzzles more electricity in a single day than a small American city uses in an entire year. The U.S. Energy Information Administration has issued the warning: data centers will consume 8% of our total national power by 2030. That is double today's rate. We are staring down the barrel of trillions of dollars in economic damage from forced blackouts. But hold on, there is a secret weapon, a highly controversial, brutal fix buried deep in the Texas dirt that could flip this entire nightmare on its head. Stick around, because I'm going to reveal exactly what the tech giants are doing, and it changes everything you know about the future of AI. To understand the collapse, you have to understand the hardware. Why is AI breaking the grid when the internet didn't? It comes down to thermal physics. AI chips run screaming hot. A single NVIDIA H100 GPU pulls roughly 700 watts of continuous power. That is the equivalent of running 5 commercial hair dryers on max heat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now stack 1 million of those chips inside a hyperscale server farm in Utah, and you are burning through energy like there is no tomorrow. To keep these machines from physically melting into slag, cooling systems are working in overdrive. In the Arizona deserts, 40% of the power consumed by these facilities evaporates instantly as steam, just to keep the ambient temperature manageable. Let's break this down to the kitchen table level so you can see exactly why the old infrastructure is failing. Imagine a traditional data center as a postal sorting hub in rural Kansas. Old-school servers are like human sorters. They look at a piece of data, an email, a YouTube video, and route it. It takes minimal energy. But generative AI? Generative AI is like replacing those humans with a billion robotic arms on steroids. They don't just sort the mail, they read it, rewrite it, predict the next letter you're going to write, and synthesize a response in milliseconds using neural networks. Those neural nets require endless massive power for the logic gates, the liquid cooling pumps, and the massive ventilation systems. When you scale this to the size of OpenAI's massive facility in Memphis, Tennessee, you are looking at 1 gigawatt of demand. That is equal to the power consumption of 750,000 homes. Amazon's new cluster in Pennsylvania, another gigawatt. By 2026, the Electric Power Research Institute predicts that the AI industry will force at least 50 new massive gas power plants to come online just to prevent total grid failure. California Governor Gavin Newsom has already had to beg tech giants to voluntarily throttle their AI compute during peak summer hours. It didn't work. The blackouts are coming, and the grid operators are out of time. This brings us to the architectural pivot. The era of the cloud is dead. We have entered the era of the AI hyperscaler. Since the launch of ChatGPT in late 2022, the compute requirements have gone vertical. Models like GPT-4o and its competitors don't just process gigabytes, they chew through exaflops, trillions of calculations per second. The tech industry is trying to innovate its way out of the bottleneck. NVIDIA's new Blackwell architecture draws less power per calculation than the previous Hopper generation. But it doesn't matter. The training runs are getting so massive that efficiency gains are instantly swallowed by sheer scale. Here is the fury of the utility companies. We cannot build transmission lines fast enough. You can build a massive wind farm in Wyoming, but routing that clean power to a server farm in Virginia takes a decade of bureaucratic red tape. The AI companies do not have 10 years. They don't even have 10 months. This desperation has triggered a massive architectural pivot toward nuclear power. Microsoft recently brokered a historic deal to restart the dormant 3 Mile Island nuclear facility in Pennsylvania, securing 835 megawatts dedicated entirely to AI. Google is signing aggressive deals for small modular reactors in Idaho, but the reality of American infrastructure is brutal. That nuclear power won't flow until 2028 at the earliest. AI needs power today. While Silicon Valley waits for nuclear reactors, everyday Americans are paying the price. The economic fallout of the AI power crunch is tearing through the manufacturing sector. In North Carolina, Duke Energy has pushed for massive rate hikes, up to 15%, largely to subsidize the grid expansions required by AI builders. When spot prices for electricity hit $5,000 per megawatt hour in the Texas ERCOT market, who absorbs that cost? Your utility bill goes up 20%. Factories in Michigan are being forced to idle their machines during peak demand, threatening thousands of blue-collar jobs. We are witnessing an era where utility companies are forced to prioritize hyperscale data barons over local communities. Look at the raw data. Meta's beast of a facility in Iowa is diverting massive amounts of power from the surrounding agricultural infrastructure. In Quincy, Washington, data centers are siphoning so much hydroelectric power from the Columbia River dams that local officials are raising the alarm. This is the dark side of the AI boom. The subsidies funnel billions to tech monopolies, while everyday citizens face the reality of rolling blackouts. Stanford's AI diagnostic tools went completely dark during a brief Bay Area power flicker. When AI controls our hospitals, our traffic grids, and our financial markets, a power flicker isn't an inconvenience, it is an economic catastrophe. Remember that secret buried in the Texas dirt? It isn't fusion hype from an MIT lab. It isn't a miracle Tesla Megapack battery in California. It is something American drillers perfected decades ago, now supercharged by the very intelligence that is causing the crisis. Think of AI as a massive pot of water that needs to boil continuously. Solar and wind are like a flickering flame, clean, but they turn off when the sun sets or the wind dies. Nuclear is like a slow preheating oven, incredibly powerful but takes years to get to temperature. The Texas fix? AI-optimized natural gas. Behold the reality of the Permian Basin. Energy giants like ExxonMobil and Chevron are now using advanced machine learning to drill precisely and predictively. They have optimized natural gas extraction to the point where they can fire up massive grid-scale turbines in a matter of seconds to meet sudden AI demand spikes. No new 10-year transmission lines needed. Oracle is building a massive new data center in Abilene, Texas, and they are powering it entirely with baseload natural gas pulled straight from the nearby fields. The cost? Half the price of nuclear. The speed? It is online right now. This is the execution play that nobody in mainstream tech wants to admit. To save the grid from the AI power crunch, we're locking into natural gas. It crushes the immediate utopian green dreams, but it completely stabilizes the grid and is driving a massive boom of 200,000 energy jobs in Texas. This combination, abundant natural gas managed by hyper-efficient AI routing, is the only bridge that buys us enough time to actually develop commercial fusion or next-generation reactors. Ignore this reality, and we face a blackout apocalypse. Accept it, and America maintains its total dominance in the global AI arms race. The AI power crunch isn't coming, it is already here. Texas cracked the code with a controversial fix, but will the rest of the country follow suit before the grid breaks? Let me know down in the comments, what is your blackout story? And are you team nuclear or team natural gas for the future of AI? Hit that like button if you want to survive the coming grid strain, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.